Hey folks, this is Rhykker. How are we doing today? It's Monday. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. We are simul streaming to YouTube and Twitch a new campaign playthrough in Path of Exile 2. And is it just me, or is the face of the witch and the sorceress exactly the same? Different haircut. Can I zoom in here? I can't zoom in. The face, like, look at the eyebrows. This looks like the same face. I'm not complaining, it's a nice face, but are these sisters? Alrighty. Eric Anglin, how you doing? Jordan Frost, what's up? Yeah, so I've been having a great time on my witch, but I wanted to try out some. Mostly, it's not so much that I wanted to try out something else. It's more that I wanted to play the campaign again, and I'm not going to make another witch. So we made Isendra of the Zan Esu clan. How's everybody doing? Shadow Mage, what's up? Gromas, how you doing? VC, hey, Kiskaloo, what's going down? How we going? Shadow Mage, take care, man. Curious, you got COVID? I don't know. Wishing you a speedy recovery, man. Nem, how you doing? Iggy, what's up? Lockmaster, hello. Anthony, howdy. Butcher in the Rye. I will eventually give all classes a try. For now, we're doing Sorceress. And Warrior is absolutely at the bottom of my list. So I've already played all the classes? Have I played all the classes? At some point over the past few years. And Warrior is definitely the one that jives least with the kind of playstyle that I enjoy. Muffin, what's going on? I'm really looking forward to the Huntress. Now, we're probably going to do the last Saturday of Feb. What's going on with, why are you going to be depressed Sunday? I hope they had an auto sword in the chest. That would be great, random mishaps. Yep. Keep getting destroyed at the cemetery on hardcore solo self-found. Ooh. Oh, I see now. Okay, rip. Oh boy. Alright, so this is going to be my first time having to go with WASD for a real effort. On my witch, I was playing point to click. Ooh boy, but now we're gonna do WASD. Alright. Find your way to safety. Oh, I don't even have a wand yet. Oh, it's so weird.
I'm glad to see another miller. Now, I would appreciate it if you could
give me my skill gem or whatever. Firebolt. Okay, cool.
Death comes swiftly here. I should keep moving.
Well, I like her voice. Looking forward to the Druid the most. The Druid was pretty awesome as well. You think they're gonna dragon form? That would be insane. That would be insane. Did I see the new info about the PoE1 event? Yes, they're adding basically the last epoch. This is really good with ranged. Dude, yeah, this is great. They are at, it's so nice to feel like you're actually aiming. They are adding to PoE1 the last epoch. It's literally called charms, right? Sorry, not charms. Totems, whatever. Like I think they call it the same thing in last epoch, right? See, that to me, I know that the ascendancies might not be a test for PoE2, but that system seems like a test for PoE2. Idols. Idols is the word. Thank you, yeah. Informing Winsleyshire. Alright, how's it going, Muffin? BMW 85 Dan, 4-month resub. I'm doing well. How are you? And Anthony, 10 minutes ago, 62-month resub. Hope you're all doing fine. By the way, are you guys hearing alerts?
How's it going?
I think you are. Yes, looks like you are. How you doing, Kirill Diego? How did I enjoy the Endgame? Yeah, I'm enjoying the Endgame in PoE2. It's just, it feels like two very different games. It feels like Campaign is one game and Endgame is an entirely different game. I think the Campaign game is the better game. Here we go. Give me that spark. Oh, yes. So. Boom. Firebolt, meanwhile, costs nothing. I see. Okay.
Inspiring.
Checking the point. So that means we're coming up on boss mode, huh? That one 100% feels like testing, right? Though they did phrase it as testing for PoE 1. Right. Thinking about switching to WAS after been playing controller from the start. I'm using 4 skills. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes, we are, Kisk. Dude was saying about how people are, how BlizzCon people are already like waiting for BlizzCon news. How are we feeling about the odds of a BlizzCon this year? You think PoE 2 Endgame is kind of boring? I mean, you gotta remember that they basically slapped it together in the last couple of months. So, they, you know, they're gonna improve it for sure. The Butcher, thank you for the dono. Appreciate you, man. Hope you are enjoying some fresh meat. Besieged encampment.
Their sickness controls him.
What? Why would you? Oh, that's not good. Where'd you guys come from? Oh, shoot. He could aim after he's... Alright. Oh, this is... Oh! Okay. I didn't realize he'd keep spawning things. What? Mana's low. Okay. Does he have a phase 2? No. Wise feels really good, man. On a ranged class, that feels great. Fire resistance. Ah, get out of here, Quiver. Ugh, disgusting. Gross. What's up, Evan Herbert? Hope you're doing well. Hey, cheers, man. Happy Monday, Grumpy Stew. Low chance for BlizzCon, nope %. Sagely, yeah. Sagely, yeah. Not this year, I don't think. What do they have to announce? They announced 10 years worth of WoW expansions last BlizzCon. You think we'll ever get a WoW 2? So, if you had asked me that years ago, I would have said yes. Oh, do I literally have to... It's forcing me to put the skill point. Well, let's do spell damage. Hell yeah. If you had asked me this many years ago, I would have said yes, WoW 2. But I think Blizzard eventually realized we don't have to do WoW 2. We can just keep WoW going forever. So, I think the existence of a WoW 2 will depend entirely on whether WoW 1 starts to die off. As long as it doesn't die off.
There's a knife you could channel your violence.
His burden is heavy. He hides it well.
As long as that doesn't die off, I don't see them. Okay, so I'm gonna lay down a flame wall and then shoot my sparks through it. Right, that's what flame wall does. Projectiles get added damage. Yup. Is there any benefit to playing early access? Having fun. I want to play, but I want to justify buying a free-to-play. No, so there's no... You can wait. There's no harm in waiting. It's really just if you cannot wait to play or want to have fun now, but... With how mad BlizzCon was last time, I'm not all that excited for it as much as I used to be. It was different. I mean, they lost their entire team that used to make BlizzCon over layoffs, and they had to build a new team, so it was going to be a different feeling BlizzCon.
Please, take your time.
Okay, I need to get into the headspace now of, ooh, yeah, let's get one of these.
I hope it helps.
Is this it's a focus energy shield? Sure. Oh no. You know what? That's fine. Who cares? Increased chaos damage, mana regen. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that. That's fine. This is gonna give me what? Chaos Bolt? That's fine. That is a-okay.
May it serve you well.
Okay, cool. I should also... No, I have Scrolls of Wisdom, right? I ought to.
Her mind tends to wander.
Oh, right, I gotta move. I'm like, why am I not moving? What am I stuck on?
Welcome. If I don't got it, who knows what prizes await.
Oh, you're the gambler. I don't want a gambler yet. Dodge on WAS is just based on where you're currently moving. Wait, what? Oh, it's not where you... No. You don't dodge in the direction of your mouse?
Headstrong and overconfident, like me.
Oh no. Okay, that's good information. Oh, that would explain some stuff. Okay. That is good info. Jeez. Alright. How sick would it be if I find boots with move speed on them? Not gonna happen. Well, hold on. Armor, energy shield.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. What is this? Evasion, fire res, energy shield, fire res. Ooh, max mana though. Nah. I'll take that. Thank you. Rarity boots. Son of Boba! 8-month resub. Good to see you, man. How you been?
Been a while. Good to see ya, Rhykker.
The Butcher, thank you again for the dono. Evan saying, saw the comment from Brevik regarding cheapening the ARPG experience these days. As someone who always vowed for the use of smarter loot, what are your thoughts? I did see your ramp up video. Yeah, I mean, I largely agree with him. Not necessarily to the same extent in that I do enjoy an end game where you are... You do get to fulfill that ultimate power fantasy of blitzing around, which is... You know, we do that in D2 as well. But, I mean, big picture, I do agree. I largely agree. Enjoy dying a lot, saying Rensler? Is that the Sorceress life? Even though every fiber of my being is a pain and misery, I found some peace in Helldivers 2 with a new stratagem, Portable Hellbomb. How does that... I don't know about the... What is a Portable Hellbomb? I guess it's just a Hellbomb that you can call down? Oh man. That's pretty awesome. Hellbombs are wicked sick. Smarter as in making loot something meaningful and not something that just drops at every corner and then salvaging pretty much everything. Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely on the topic of loot. Like, when just everything that's dropping is completely inconsequential to you. It's, in my opinion, not a good state.
That's a good one.
Not a ideal state. Oh, whoop, I should be breaking these down. Right.
Take a look.
Okay, so I'm going to... Oh man, I gotta get used to this whole...
Sorry, I was just...
Although, what I ought to do is do a quick checkaroni here on... Cannot equip any of that. It's all red, right? I don't see anything not red. Cool. Let's go straight to maps. Here, I can get this. Nice. Anything else not red? Some of these are not red. You know, I'm gonna pop this one on. There we go. Grow my ass.
17 months rack 17 we back to Po2. Perfect while I am finishing my D4 season journey. Yeah, I've been slacking off this season XD.
Hey, I'm not done the season journey either. We're probably gonna finish it tomorrow. Hope you're doing well, grow my ass. Celia is saying, I don't really see a point of a WoW 2 in my opinion. Yeah, as long as WoW 1 exists and is doing well, there's really no point in a WoW 2. Okay, so let's see. Increase life recovery from flask. More to max mana. 50% of damage taken recouped as mana. Okay, this is actually interesting belt. This one here, though, ooh. 50 to strength. I don't really need strength, but that is interesting. That is quite interesting. I mean, so for this one, I ought to never be taking damage. I'm really taking this for the max mana and the elemental resist. I could always pop this on in case I ever have strength requirements. Cannot equip any charms yet, nor jewels. I think that's everything. Okay. Well, that's as much as I can cannibalize for now, well, apart from maybe get some skill gems? Maybe we can see what I can equip from here. I am looking forward to Titan Quest 2. However, I am cautious about it. Why? What is Titan Quest 2? What is Titan Quest? Fans of Titan Quest may be hyped for a Titan Quest 2, but it is important to recognize that the people making Titan Quest 2 are none of the people that made Titan Quest, and it's not even the same company that made Titan Quest. So, like, it's worse than, like, you know, Blizzard, like, the D4 team is none of the people that made, like, D2 or whatever. But, like, at least it's Blizzard, you can say, so there's, like, institutional knowledge that's potentially been passed down. This is a completely different company, different team. Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but, like, it's an unknown element. So, I'm hoping it's going to be good, but I don't know these people. If it was the Titan Quest 1 team making any game, I would be excited. But it's just like game being made by unknown people, happens to be Titan Quest 2. It's like fingers crossed that they do it justice. It'd be like some unknown author writing Winds of Winter. Okay, it's great that we're getting the next book, but, like, it's not George R.R. Martin, so who knows, you know?
Yes.
And worse still, I don't even think it has the blessing of those who made Titan Quest 1. It's not like it was a passing of the torch. It's the rights to this game fell to some other entity, and this entity gave the rights to this other team to do this thing. Which sorcerer build am I going for? We'll kind of see what drops. I think I'm going to be starting with, I guess, Spark. Let's see what the rage is about, and we'll see. Take things from there. What else did I want to do? I think I want to check my jams. Although, it's very possible that... can I search? I can. Oops. Now, at what point can I even start to equip some of these things? That's the question, isn't it? Well, I think we'll just go out. Go on about. Do you know anything about the D2R new patch? I do not. There's a new patch for D2R, huh? AK, what happened in Season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones, the show? Sadly, yes. Sadly, yes. Alright, let's go to the Clearfell. Muffin saying there's no real reason for WoW 2, because whatever they can add to WoW. Only reason to do a 2 of anything is continuous as graphics upgrade. I mean, even that, they've made graphical upgrades to WoW 1. Now, they're still limited, of course. It's not comparable to a, you know, a modern game, but... What did she say? My ghetto con? Yeah, so no, I imagine if and when they start to see the numbers on WoW going down precipitously, then they'll make WoW 2. When they need to basically bust out something, it's like a break glass moment where they need to save WoW, that's when they'll make WoW 2. In my opinion. My spidey sense was telling me there'd be monsters, but there were not. Oh, that sounds like, is that the witch? That's the witch. I don't think I'm ready to take on this witch. So I realize popping potions is going to be a little bit trickier while using WASD. Okay, that actually went easier than I expected. They should make it playable for free. They should make what playable for free, Miss Redwin-Wag? Iggy's saying I'd be excited to go to BlizzCon, but not for BlizzCon. For what? Okay, gotta watch out for these summoner types. The Vile Hag. Bound your potions to the side mouse buttons. Man, so my issue is I'm left-handed. I basically disable all mouse buttons that are not left click and right click because I don't have the dexterity with my right hand to press any other buttons. So I'm basically limited to 2 mouse buttons and keyboard. Iggy's saying, in my opinion, dodging like this is easier / better. You don't need to stop aiming at the enemy to dodge. Okay, that makes sense. I bet it's better on controller, though, where you have much more accuracy over your... Like, you're not just dodging in one of 8 directions. Travel to the Grellwood. Search Clearfell to find the Mud Burrow entrance. Did I do this? Yeah, Bira. I did Bira. Right? I just did the boss. That was... Yeah, that's why it's highlighted, right? That makes sense. Maybe I should still find the mud entrance then.
To think they dared doubt me.
Ha ha ha. Blast that spell damage. So I'm thinking of, like, maybe having, as part of the schedule, just D4 days and PoE days. Still kind of settling into things here. Okay, there's the Mud Burrow. Oh, finally the waypoint. Good thing I kept going. Okay. I don't know. Mud Burrow versus... What's the other place? Grellwood. I guess we'll do the Mud Burrow first. Recoup is not that great. It takes 8 seconds.
Disgusting.
Oh, I see on the belt. Oh. Ugh, okay. Yeah, it's terrible. Thanks for the info, Butcher in the Rye. Gotta look at the underground map. Ah, the Devourer, okay. Right. It's a little switcheroo. Oh, the Devourer! Oh, snap. I'm not ready for the Devourer. Oh, goodness. Rhyker's a lefty. Let me quickly call McCarthy to send us the Taman Squad. Oh, boy.
Wall of flame.
Tattered robe. I don't need that. I have a better robe. Some source of Pierce is mandatory for Spark. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm gonna get the Pierce, support gem. Hatchery. Pilgrim. Recent Dragon Age kind of shows what happens when different people make a sequel. What could happen, at least. What could happen? Inventory full. I beg to differ. I can pick up a couple more things. Stop. Stop it. Go away. It's not gonna go away until... Oh, no. Wait, is this the fight? Okay. I'll wait then. Fine. How you doing, Geeky? I had a good weekend. Yeah, I managed to watch the video right before stream. Yeah. Yeah, it's been done before. The government's gonna back down on Tencent.
keep on keeping on.
Hey, cheers, Static Philo, 31-month resub. Appreciate ya. Hope you've been well. And Shem Besh, 2-month resub. Appreciate ya. Okay, well, I might as well put on something. Superior Torn Gloves. Well, why not? Head of the Winter Wolf. I mean... Lesser Mana Flask. Lesser Mana Flask. Armor, rarity. I mean... Nah. Right, I don't have the auto-identifier person yet. I gotta go save Deckard Cain. Well, that is quality.
Sorry, I was... I like to hold on.
Oh, I leveled up, didn't I? Right, I need to check the vendors again. Shoot. Okay, I need to remember every time I level up, go check vendors. Level up, go check vendor. Gosh. Alright.
Oh, I like this one.
Yes. Okay. That's to attacks. No. What do I have here? Max energy shield, chaos damage. Okay, well, that is actually not that great.
Stay safe.
What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, right, just use it and get resistance. Lol. I'm like, who do I gotta turn this into? Evan asking, after watching your content for years, I'm curious. 1, what does your day-to-day consist of? And 2, how do you choose what games to cover at what point, having to balance enjoyment and business? Excellent questions, Evan. Excellent questions. So the day-to-day kind of, it differs depending on whether it's a stream day or not, but some consistencies every day of the week, constantly throughout the day, checking emails, checking YouTube comments. Stream days, I'm a little bit more limited in what I can do because I have a specific stream block. So I kind of have to plan around the streaming time. Thursdays and Fridays are largely the news video. So it's the news video is roughly 16 hours of work. So I try to get started on that on Thursday, finish it up on Friday, but I can't finish it like on Thursday because the news is still potentially happening. So, like the news video was like this whole multi-phase thing of we start by doing the news dive, like looking for news stories. Then I do a culling of that list to what I think is just most relevant for the week. Then begins the research on those topics. And there's generally a couple phases of news dives as well because, again, like maybe I'll do my first dive on Thursday, then I gotta dive again on Friday to see, in the last 24 hours, what other news has potentially happened that I can't miss. Yeah, outside of that, it sort of depends on what's happening, like if there's a new, season in D4 or a new league in PoE or something. I'm doing research on that to inform myself, potentially be working on videos for guide content and stuff like that. Always trying to keep a pulse on the communities to keep aware of what's going on. And then there's a whole lot of like boring business side of things, which is a big part of like dealing with emails. Just all like the dreadfully tedious stuff of business running, like accounting and Contracts, freaking stupid contracts. What else? I mean, I guess, yeah, there's working on videos, working on short-term and long-term video content, prioritizing and deciding what videos to make. Because the sad thing is, I would make more videos in general. However, it is actively detrimental to my business to just kind of poop out whatever videos I want to make. Because I can just make videos that I find fun, or videos that I want to do, but if those videos then don't get a lot of views, it is actually harmful to my business for a couple of reasons. One is the YouTube algorithm. So every video of mine that you skip makes YouTube less likely to recommend my videos to you in the future and to other people. Because they see, let's say I make a Dungeons & Dragons video, right? Because my biggest passion in life is Dungeons & Dragons. My channel started off as a Dungeons & Dragons channel. But if I put out a Dungeons & Dragons video, it's not going to get many views because I'm now known as like an ARPG channel. And so if I put out a bunch of content that people don't watch, then what YouTube sees is, oh, this is a terrible channel, and we're gonna stop recommending it to people. So there's that side, and then there's also for sponsorships. Sponsors look at the average views of your last 10 videos to determine how much they're willing to pay you. So if I put out a bunch of videos that are taking, you know, hits to views, that's directly affecting how much revenue I could potentially earn from sponsorships. So the sad reality is, as much as I love to do those lore videos, I space them out so much because every lore video is you know, a hit to my business. Even though I love doing them and I know people love them, like they actively hurt me to do. Which is, you know, I started off YouTube as just a fun thing. You know, there was never at any point any thought in my mind that I would ever monetize. Because I started YouTube before you can even make money off of YouTube. Wow, I nearly died. Yeah, I mean, it started off purely as just a for fun thing.
The tail.
Why can't I cast my fireball? Okay, that went a lot better than I expected.
This was not a challenge.
But yeah, so like I have a lot of videos, or a lot. I have, you know, multiple videos that I started producing up to some degree, and then I ended up canceling in some phase. You know, I have like a list of videos that I would like to make, and then, you know, there's some that I've started research on, there's some that I've actually started development on, there's some that I've actually recorded, and some of these have been like abandoned at some phase of development. Just because I didn't think that they would perform well enough, or I just figured it's not worth, you know, doing now, so I'll put it off for later. Because when deciding what videos to make as well, there's like, okay, what is a video that is timeless, and what is a video that is timely? Like, if I make a, you know, top 10 best builds video for a season, that generally has to come out towards the start of the season, because a month in, no one cares anymore. So at that point, the video's not going to perform. So at that point, there's not even a point in releasing the video or making it. And, you know, stuff like that. Whereas there's other content that is potentially timeless. Although, for the most part, in this space, it's all very timely stuff. So yeah, a lot of it is like research on, or R&D, I guess, on video production. Time Quest 2 is a full-price, half-baked beta launch. Doing justice is too early for it. Oh no. Oh, that's discouraging. Diablo YouTube channel has a community post. Which new shrine power is your favorite for the lunar event? First, and so far only comment the one that isn't Conduit. I thought people were going to actually troll and put Condi as their favorite. They've also been radio silent in the devs of Titan Quest 2. I mean, I think that's fine. I think they need to show, not tell. Like, they could say whatever, but until they, you know, demonstrate that they have something good, I don't know that it's really worth it for them to, like, kind of waste time and effort on just, you know, communication. Like, I know that their first kind of preview thing was not very impressive. Yeah. This armor. Get out of here. Happy Monday, Monito. What's up, man? I mean, take the Torchlight games. I don't think any part of XD is related to Runic. It is not. And it's doing well. Yes. So that was, you know... That said, while I think Torchlight Infinite is largely a very good game, it's not really a Torchlight game. So, like, hardcore Torchlight fans looking for the next Torchlight, I don't know how much they really loved Torchlight Infinite. I think it's a really strong ARPG, but I don't know how Torchlight it really feels. Versus Torchlight 3, made by Perfect World, showed that different people can't make what's been made. So you think we'll see WoW 1, but a huge graphics update? Not necessarily. I mean, we've been seeing granular graphics upgrades to WoW over time. I guess potentially at some point, if WoW is still doing really well and it's looking really aged, maybe they'll do some kind of overhaul. But like, if it gets to the point of effort where they need to like effectively remake the entire engine and remake the entire game, I don't know that they're gonna do that until a WoW 2.
Yes?
Screw it. Did I level up again?
Finn makes fun of my collection, but I think it's
I didn't, but I also forgot to go shop
Stay safe
Schrader's over here.
if you can.
Renly, what have you for me? Move speed. I think 10% is probably the best we can do here.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, yeah. Thanks, Renly. What do I have on this? Fire Res, Energy Shield. I was about to sell these right back to him. That would have been funny. Alright.
Stick to the cairns.
Yes?
Is it only you covering everything that you do, or are you building somewhat of a Rhykker team? It's, for the most part, just me. For sponsorship, negotiations, and contract stuff, I have an agency. It's like... I mean, I largely don't like doing the business side of the business. I'm a creative type, but... yeah, maybe a couple years ago, I signed with an agency to handle, like, I hate negotiating. Like, I'm such a softie. Like, so getting other people to handle that side of stuff has been immense burden off of me. But like, yeah, everything else basically I do. So like, for instance, I could make more videos if I had like, you know, a video editor or something. But I have, I guess I've always done stuff myself. And kind of like handing off parts of the business that I feel are me to other people is something that I don't feel really good about. That makes sense? Like, I don't know. It's sort of difficult to convey because like everyone of my size, like, you know, the advice from a long time ago would have been, oh, you should hire an editor. You should hire an editor. People have been telling me that for years. And it's probably the smart business move, but I don't know. It's not really my video anymore if I'm just doing the recording and then handing it off to someone, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's difficult to explain if you're not a creative, I guess. Yeah. Unlisted private lore videos sponsored by Patreons and published linked as a command on your website. Does that help with the algorithm? Yes. So if the video is unlisted, it won't harm me. Exactly. So we can do like behind the scenes stuff, like for Patreons or whatever. Yeah. You got to break the chains of capitalism and work on what you like. Just kidding. We know that we have to do things for money. Good thing your channel is good and a way of living. Yeah, Gabriel. I mean, like in a perfect world, right? You know, I would have just kept doing what I want to do. But like, once, you know, so I guess an analogy here is, imagine you like really like you really like cupcakes. So your passion is making cupcakes, so you open up a cupcake shop, and that's great. You get an audience that comes in, or you get customers that like cupcakes, and they come and buy your cupcakes, and you know, this clientele comes for your cupcakes, and you have other things that you like to cook as well, or bake as well. Like you like to make muffins, let's say, and you also like to make pastries, but your customers are really just coming for the cupcakes. And at some point you realize, you know, every day I'm baking these pastries and these muffins, and like no one's buying them, and I'm throwing them out at the end of the day, and like that's time, and that's, you know, resources. Like I'm spending money on ingredients and stuff, making these things, and they're taking up shelf space. If I weren't making these other things that I like making, then I could be making more cupcakes, which is what my, you know, people are coming for. And there's a difference between whether you're doing something just for fun, which is how, you know, I used to do things, versus when it became my full-time job, where it's like, well, you know, if it ever would get to a point where I'm doing stuff that I actively don't like, though, then I would rather not do it at all. But like, you know, I like cupcakes, I like muffins, I like pastries. If I got to a point where I dislike cupcakes, then I would rather just not, you know, be doing this at all. But I still do like cupcakes. I like other stuff too, but I kind of have to just focus on the cupcakes because that's what the customers want, right? You prefer a regular 9-to-5 or YouTube as a career? I prefer being my own boss. I prefer working my own hours. So I'm very content with where I am. I would not trade it for... I don't think there's any job offer that I can be given right now that I would take over this. That said, I am under no illusion that this is going to last forever. So for now, like, I have what I recognize to be a dream job for a lot of people. I consider myself immensely fortunate. I have wonderful supporters to thank for that. If and when this is no longer a viable business, I'll move on to, you know, whatever comes next. But as long as this is working, if it helps anything contextually, my dream job as a child was basically to become a hermit novel writer, living in the woods by himself, pumping out a novel every year or two. So this isn't all that different. I'm a hermit in my room. It's a different kind of creative thing that I'm doing, but it's still the essence of I work for myself, I'm my own boss, I output. I think that's something as well that I enjoy, is my time and effort is directly proportional to my success. As in, oftentimes, like, if you're doing a 9 to 5, it doesn't really matter whether you're giving it 120% or, like, just enough to not get fired. You make the same money. Whereas, you know, if I take time off, my business gets fucked. If I put in extra effort, my business does well. I mean, it's like, for some people that sounds terrible, but, like, it's more rewarding, I guess. It's also more stressful, and meaning, like, I don't take vacations and stuff, but, like, I like the direct feedback of... It's like a video game, basically, right? You know, in a video game, you do well, you perform well, that the game rewards you for that, whereas if you do shittily, the game, well, not necessarily punishes you, but... Whereas if you're working for someone else, if you're working for a company, your effort is making someone else rich, kind of thing, right? Would you ever consider going back and comparing all aspects of Diablo 1, 2, Immortal, D4, including lore, gameplay, feel systems, and ultimately creating in your eyes the premise for D5? I'm digesting the question. Creating in your eyes the premise for D5. Do you mean, like, the story? Also, do you mean what I think D5 will be, or what I think it should be? Hold shift over 9 to compare. Thank you, the pleb. Okay, well, I don't have one to do that now, but shift to compare, shift to compare. Those ominous editors, like Asmongold's editors, yes, that control him. So it's funny, like, I get why that misunderstanding happened. It's just hilarious. Like, because I worked as an editor, right? I was a managing editor for a website. So, like, in print or in, website editors, the editor is someone who has control over the final output. Whereas when we're talking about video editors, right, like, they're a video editor works for you. You don't, like, it's a completely different, like, it's the same word, but it's a completely different meaning, basically. It's just so funny. Oh my gosh. Celio's saying, yeah, I always thought it was funny too when they'd improve the graphics of WoW because people kept asking for it, and then people complained the minimum specs requirements went up a little. Yeah, cause, like, what do they expect, man? What do they expect? Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I need Pierce Brosnan. Where do I get that? No, wait, I did a skill gem, not a support gem. Right, okay. So what would I do? What is a frostbone? Okay. Okay. That's my support gem, alright. Pierce. Yes, please. No, you go there. Dang it. Yeah. Okay. Can I get another uncut support gem? Nope, they're all level 3. Dang it. Mind you, it's up to level... Wait. Creates a support gem up to level 3? What level is this gonna make? Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. There we go. I can still use it. And then just bork it. What company is making Dragonkin the Banished? I have no idea what this is. Dragonkin the Banished? Eco Software. They sound familiar to me. Eco Software. Oh, they did Warhammer Chaos Bane. Cool. Alright. That's something. Why is it? Yeah. Okay, well, looking good. That's looking good enough. Let's deposit this back. Oh. Okay. So we just finished that quest over there. We did the Devour. God damn M. Did they reset? They reset my bindings. I had disabled M for microtransaction. They put it back. Input. Map. World screen M. There. Done. Done. Wait, done? Mysterious campsite. Oh, yeah, done. Okay, cool. Cool. Back we go now. To here. The plebeian, 23 months. One more month. One more month. You're gonna rock the 2-year badge.
Almost 2 years. Love the pod you did with Try and just the casual chat. Do one with DM.
Hey, I would love to, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, I had a great chat with Try. Went really well. He's a great podcast host. But yeah, I mean, so that was the first time I ever spoke with Try. Got a really good first impression of him. DM and I are buddies. I'm always happy to talk with DM. I guess we've never really done it in an official... Yeah, I guess we've never really spoken on a video, have we? Okay, I just leveled up. I'm immediately going back to town to shop. Before I forget. Comparing what, in your eyes, you would like to see as Diablo 5 versus what will more than likely happen on its current trajectory. Ooh, okay. All right. So what I think D5 will be versus what I would hope it would be. Yeah, that'd be a cool video.
Hello. I like to hold on to bits and pieces. Any that catch your eye?
No, these aren't very good. Oh, wait, it's a bigger potion, though. I'm going to still get that.
May it keep you alive.
May it keep you alive. Go to the well. Drinky, drinky.
Yes. I like to hold on to bits and pieces. Bye.
Oh, right.
Oi.
Final Fantasy XIV had a pretty major engine upgrade last summer, so it'll be a long time before we hear anything about the next Final Fantasy MMO. That makes sense, yeah. If they do an engine upgrade, then that says they're locking in for a while. Stun threshold. I don't really want stun at threshold. I guess 10% is the best I can get on boots for now, huh? Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine, I guess. Spell damage. Yeah, my mana's doing pretty okay for now. I don't use the left... So I'm left-handed, but I learned as a child to use a computer with... mouse, right hand. So at some point, like after years, I tried to use a mouse with my left hand, and it just felt so alien. So, yeah, no, I use a mouse like a righty would. Always put me at a disadvantage in, like, FPS games. That's why I really liked Unreal Tournament, which was, like, an FPS that put a lot of focus on mobility. So I could make up for my lack of dexterity with aiming with really good maneuverability and movement and flow through a map. Like wall dodges and stuff. I should get my frost bomb here. The frost bomb, okay. Did I ever play Dungeons of Sundaria? I have not played Dungeons of Sundaria. What kind of game is that? Custom trebuchet stratagem? What? Call down the Hell Bomb. You pick it up. You call down Autocannon Sentry. Oh, so it's some kind of like... I see. So it's not intended by the devs. That's awesome. And they've left, they're not gonna like nerf that or remove it or anything. They're gonna let it ride. That's hilarious. It's a fellow lefty. It took me like 2 or 3 weeks to get used to some minor quality of life things on mouse side buttons. So my issue was I was pressing the buttons accidentally. So I just stopped. I mean, I guess if I really tried to practice it, maybe I could get it to work, but... Greaves are rough. Plug in that controller. Do it. How many people are like curious and are done with PoE 2 for now? Not that they dislike it, but it's just like, you know, I like this, I'm done for now, gonna wait for release. I'm wondering, especially, how many people who did not really play PoE 1 much are going to try out the new PoE 1 event because they liked PoE 2. I'm vaguely aware of the PSN situation. PSN was down. I didn't realize it was during the anniversary of Helldivers. My gosh, it's already been a year. Wow. Search. Okay, we're not done in Grelwood. Oh yeah, Geeky. Tencent owns a huge share of the industry. Like Riot, they own all of Riot Games. They own all of GGG. They own a good chunk, if not all, of From Software. They got their hands in so many pies. They own most of Ubisoft, or sorry, they like kind of co-own Ubisoft, or they've helped Ubisoft out a lot. Wait a minute, tattered robe. That means I've been here. But no, I couldn't have been here. PoE2 Mondays, D4 Tuesdays, Variety Wednesdays, Pause Chant.
Die, scum.
She's saying the scum in German. YouTube algorithm is brutal, absolutely, but not as bad as Twitch's algorithm, which is non-existent, basically, yeah. Yeah. Do a separate channel for passion projects? Yeah, that's a good solution. There was a time, actually, I was very close to starting up a second channel for Dungeons & Dragons. Which is the irony is my channel started off as a Dungeons & Dragons channel, and now that I would have to make like a separate channel to do Dungeons & Dragons again.
Sorry.
What are you apologizing in advance for?
I like to hold
It's like, I know I'm only have garbage to sell you. I'm sorry.
Catch your eye.
You know, cold res, canonase.
May it serve you well.
I'll hold on to that though, just in case. I'll want to swap back at some point.
How's the anything take your fancy?
Yeah, I'll take this.
A fine choice.
Will he be using the channeling fire missile spell? I have no idea. I don't think so. XX Yashu 007, how you doing? I love the dynamic combat with WASD or ranged classes. It feels really awkward going back to regular mouse movement and other RPGs after that. It does feel like it's the future for sure. What are my other favorite game... who are your other favorite games journalists that you follow, keep track of their work? Example, SkillUp or Jake Baldano. Jason Schreier is the one that I guess I like the most. I don't know that I quite follow any one person. I don't mean this in a negative way. I notice recurring names pop up, but like I tend to look more. So Jason Schreier is like one of the few serious like deep dive investigative journalists. Not that other people aren't good, but it's like it's not. It's often just kind of like, gosh, how to. So when I used to work as a games journalist, for instance, about a decade ago. Geez, more so now. More than a decade ago. Oh my god. Content kind of fell into two buckets. One of those buckets is you got to get it out fast, and it's got to get views. Now some of that, well, okay, maybe three buckets. There's like just complete garbage content, but of like real serious content, there's like news type coverage where it's like you got to get this out, you got to get it out fast, and you're generally not the only person reporting on this story. And that was like 95+% of what we did. And then the other like 5% plus was what I think all of us find more interesting, both as journalists and readers, I guess. Well, I don't know about readers, but at least as journalists, the content that we're more proud of doing or being able to work on is like the kind of content that takes a long time to make. So be it interviews, be it actual like deep dive investigations. And the problem is the amount of time it takes to do these things and to work on them almost never pays off. So it's like in the time that it took you to do this one like deep dive investigative piece on like what's happening inside of Blizzard, you could have done like 50 popcorn articles that would have ended up making the company more money in the end. So the kind of articles that we take pride in and that are more, I guess, respect worthy just ultimately don't pay off as well. And Jason Schreier is like one of the few people in the business still doing these kind of things. And I'm glad that he's been successful doing it and that he's been able to, get the position at Bloomberg and everything. So it's not that I don't like other journalists or think they're doing a bad job. I do see like recurring names sometimes and I'm like, oh yeah. But it's more that it's like, I see the article, I read the article, and then I'm like, all right, that's Andy. All right, that's so-and-so. Yeah, he covers this beat a lot. Another engine news this week. Football Manager 2025 was finally canceled due to the release in November 2024. I think they couldn't switch to a new engine in time. Oh boy, okay. One of the biggest reasons I'm very against WoW 2 is I'm very attached to my characters, especially my hunter that I've had for 18 years and don't want to start over without that character. Oh wow, 18 years with the same character. That's amazing. Wow. Vagati, how you doing, man?
46 months. How we doing, folks? Rice salute, rice salute.
Hey, cheers, Spaghetti. I'm doing well. How are you? Gosh, I'm very behind on Twitch chat, aren't I? Dread saying you lose the U in your work. Bingo. That's exactly it, Dread. That's exactly it. How you doing, buddy? Logmaster saying, unless you really need a video editor, better to save the money and do videos yourself. So, the reason that most large channels get editors, it's not out of like a convenience thing. It's, I would make more money if I made more videos. I don't have the time to make more videos because I'm spending so much time editing. Therefore, I hire an editor. I just do the recording, send that off. Therefore, I'm making more videos. Yes, I'm paying editor X, but the extra videos are earning me Y, which is larger than X. So in the end, it's a good business move. Like, I cannot argue the logic from a business perspective. The smart business thing for me to have done would have been to have gotten an editor years ago. Because a lot of my time is tied up in editing, and that time could be spent producing more content, be it more Twitch, like a lot of them are streamers, for instance, right? So any hour that you're editing, you could be streaming instead, for instance. Chewing Gum Volley, new sub via Prime Gaming, welcome. Thank you for the sub. Sad state of the world that the more investigative pieces are not appreciated as it is not pumped out quick enough. Yeah. Curious thing, you can always try doing what Asmongold did initially. Let someone make a second channel, Rhykker Live or Rhykker Clips or whatever, and let them upload clips from Twitch and or shorts from YouTube there. It's something I've been thinking about more lately, especially for shorts. And initially some people were doing it on their own, but after years, Asmon actually hired them and made the official Asmongold TV and Clips channel. Yeah. I think though, like, so I've always been a YouTuber first and streamer second, and I think that's very unusual. There aren't many of us. And I think just people are more familiar with people who are streamers first. So like people who are streamers first, they're going to spend more hours streaming. I think that's also a big part of it. I think most content creators would rather be streamers so that they can just be, they just want to play games, I guess. Whereas I'm not coming from a place of someone that just wants to play games. I was always a video creator first. And I mean, not that I don't want to play games, but like, it's not the main impetus. I like creating things. But yeah, no, I guess the idea of a second channel run by someone else, just, you know, make content from my content. It does work better from people that are streamers first because they spend more time streaming, so there's more content to mine from.
Stick to the cairns.
Yes?
Oh, it's a superior right. So not disenchant, but salvage bench. Okay, I think I had just come back to town now because I leveled up. Get that spell damage. Here we go. 20% increase spell damage, 10 to intelligence. Harren Singh, heard it here first, folks. Rhykker doesn't want to play games, JK. No, but seriously, so, my relationship with games has changed dramatically since I started, I mean, since it basically became my job, or part of my job, at least. I wouldn't say playing games is my job, but it's a part of my job. So I've always been a gamer, or at least I'd like to consider myself a gamer. I've always played video games. But like, before I started streaming, for me, playing video games for 3 hours in a day, that's like, I played a lot of video games today. If I played, you know, like a 3-hour gaming session, like that's, I just spent like my whole evening gaming, like holy shit. And on like the rare time that I'd spend a weekend, like 5 hours or more, I'd be like, dude, like, I just had like a marathon gaming session. I gamed the whole day. And that's like peanuts compared to how much, you know, a streamer goes for, right? So as much as I enjoy video games, or enjoyed them, playing, like, just doing the same thing for so many hours straight is just not, like, I'm very antsy. Getting me to, like, sit at a computer for multiple hours straight is just not something that, like, not that I'm an outdoorsy active person, I don't know, I'm hyperactive or something. Anytime I'll be playing a game by myself, I just like the ability to, you know, every half hour, like, I get up and I go do something, like, go pet a cat, or just get distracted by whatever. It's very seldom that, like, I sit for, like, 3 consecutive hours. Obviously now I don't sit at all, which kind of helps. I have a standing desk. You always see me shifting around and moving. It helps my predispositions, but yeah, like, I never was the type to, like, want to just spend the whole day playing games, even though I like it. It's just, you know, I'm not sedentary, I guess, or I'm not that naturally sedentary. So I've had to adjust to playing for longer bouts at a time. But, like, just to say, like, if, you know, if my job were literally 8 hours a day, every day playing video games, that sounds like a dream for some people. I mean, would I rather do it than most other jobs? Sure, but it's not, like, ideally what I want to be doing. Like, I'm a very creative person and I like creating things. That's why, like, the lore videos, I really like making the lore videos, because it's the most creative kind of video that I get to make. It's something that I get to, like, inject some humor. It's about inherently something more creative by itself. I can inject more of my personality. I like stories, so I'm talking about stories and lore. Like, the news videos are just kind of whatever, because, like, it's news, it's, you know... Not that I hate making it, but, like... Oh, this is where we're gonna find Decker Cane, yeah.
This tree has an abundance of energy.
Like, journalism isn't inherently, you know, creative, necessarily. Waypoint.
And here, this shape. There is a battle menu.
That's also why Dungeons & Dragons is my favorite activity. Being a dungeon master is, like, it's been my creative outlet for most of my life now. Being able to build worlds, create characters, create scenarios, create game mechanics.
And listen.
Find the entrance to the Red Veil. Search the Red Veil. Well, I've done those things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the vintage Rhykker Twitch stream highlight videos were amazing. Yeah, those were fun to make, right? You get to be a bit more creative there. Leafy saying you're looking to being a narrator with your voice. You have a very strong pipe that'll be great for voice acting. I appreciate you, man. I do enjoy, you know, doing a little amateur voice acting in my D&D games and such. I think, unfortunately, though, that, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I think AI has taken over bigly that whole domain, where I think it's... I don't think the jobs are going to go away, but I think it's going to be relegated to the cream of the crop. Like, if you're not in the top 10%, your job's probably going to go away. Unless some serious consumer protection, or not consumer protection. Unless some serious, like, lobbying happens from voice actors guilds to implement protections. Is there no way to bring up a bigger... Oh, yeah, here, okay. So here's the Red Veil. It is southwest.
Fall before me.
Gromass saying, totally makes sense, although if you want to grow, it's inevitable to hire people to help. Yeah, and if you got an editor, you're still the main actor and director. Yeah, no, I feel you. It's, oh, geez, what even is happening here? Bramblegast. Brumble Gomble. Well, that doesn't seem good. Got him.
Waste away. Back to the soil.
That's fine. Acelia is saying, if and when it doesn't become a viable job anymore, do you think you'll still do it on the side for fun? I think I'll revert to turning it back into a just for fun thing and just do the kind of content that I enjoy to make. That's my expectation. I mean, unless I end up being totally burnt out on it by then, but...
I thought the Ezomites buried their dead. This must have been some battleground.
I own I own a window cleaning company, and it's very similar to what you're explaining. Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, right? Business is business, and so you're always going to find parallels in anything that becomes a business. It's funny, part of me, talking about how my relationship with games has changed. I think anytime you turn one of your passions into something that you do for work, it also changes your relationship with that thing, and generally not for the better. So, for instance, I almost never play video games in my spare time for fun. If I'm playing a video game, it's generally for work. The rare exception now is, like, if I'm playing with friends, or, like, my partner, which also doesn't really happen very often. And it's especially because, like, the kind of games that I want to play are kind of the kinds of games that I play for work. So it's like, either I'm playing this game because I'm doing research, or if I'm going to play a game, well, I should be playing the game that, you know, is part of my work. But there's just, in general, there's the association of work with games now. So there was a time where I really wanted, like, to turn a Dungeons and Dragons kind of YouTube channel into something like business viable. Like, there was a time when Diablo was dying, basically. D4 hadn't been revealed. Possibly Diablo Immortal was revealed. I don't know. All the numbers on Diablo were going, like, way down, and it's like, okay, you know, if my business remains a Diablo business, it's not going to be viable for much longer. And I was trying to think, what could I do? And what I really wanted to do was a Dungeons and Dragons channel. I think I'm glad that that didn't happen, though, because I'm kind of afraid of what would happen if that would change my relationship with Dungeons and Dragons, because that's like the last sacred thing to me. It's like my biggest passion and my biggest hobby. And if I kill that, then I basically have no enjoyment left in life. Hold on, I'm going for the red veil, right? Yeah, okay. Did I level up again? I did not level up again. We're getting close, though.
That may hold what I seek.
Obelisk of Rust. Defeat the monsters. That is very specific.
Not yet.
That was a level up. Does Spark auto-target?
Ugh, the dead seem to rise in every direction.
At first I thought Spark was like Charged Bolt in that it just goes erratically, but I think it's auto-targeting things. Collect the 2 remaining runes of power. Well, first we're going to go back to town to shop. And I'm saying that is one of the reasons I tend to play solo. Can always take a break or change what I'm doing. D3, start a bounty run, do a GR, do this or that. D4, do Whispers, Helltide, Undercity boss. Yeah. Hey, look at these guys spinning around. Oh, I can't. Oh, I could spin around. We're communicating. Do you know what double slit experiment and simulation hypothesis are? Double slit experiment I am familiar with from a physics perspective. I haven't heard about it with regards to simulation hypothesis. If I were to extrapolate, that basic, actually, okay, yeah, this is a pure conjecture. If I were to extrapolate, what I think that would mean is, I mean, okay, that we live in a simulation that, so the double slit experiment, God, it's been 20 years. A photon, light is broken down into discrete photons, actual particles, right? Light is actually particles. Double slit experiment manages to split light into 2 beams, but the photon could only ever be going through one or the other slit. So it's like, oh God, I'm butchering this so bad. It's like in one reality, it went through one slit, and in the other reality, it went through the other. But there's like some kind of superposition. Here, let me just... double slit experiment. Okay, oh, right. So, oh no, I'm getting this completely wrong. The double slit experiment is how light exhibits the behavior of both particles and waves at the same time. Okay. So then I have no idea what the connection to simulation hypothesis is. Would you ever be interested in making tabletop RPG products? Absolutely, yes. I think... So for me, it's kind of like a, when I'm retired kind of thing, I'm going to make tabletop RPG products. Do you watch Critical Role D&D campaigns? I think they are terrible. They treat entire settings like a dumb joke. Oh, man. So I used to watch Critical Role back in the day. I think like there's their first season and a bit of their second. I've not seen... Yeah, I haven't watched them for a while. I mean, I didn't... Like, I enjoyed them. I thought they were running a homebrew setting, but... Boom. There we go.
Yes, I like to hold on to bits and pieces. Any that catch your eye.
Here's saying I got COVID on the same day someone infected me with vampirism and Elder Scrolls Online. I like immersion. That's a bit too far. You should check out Kingdom Come Deliverance for immersion. Gain 30% of damage as extra cold damage. Does this count for spells? I mean, obviously it must, right? Otherwise I wouldn't roll on a... It wouldn't make a roll on that, right? The Diablo 3 goat pet is called Lady Morthanlu, but looks eerily similar to the D4 pet. Okay, I did find it looked very similar. That is a completely different name, though, isn't it? Salut Pierre, ça va bien? Je suis même pas Endgame encore. Act 2, deuxième fois. Arch Sorcerer. Enjoy, enjoy. Take care, Morgan. For me, Neverwinter Nights was perfect D&D game. Great opening, cinematic, establishing world, protagonists, and antagonist, atmosphere, and you spawn in an academy with such perfect musical score perfection. Neverwinter Nights was so good, man. Gale is in that camp waiting for a finished endgame and seamless controller keyboard mouse transition. Mangled Skull saying I'm done for now, waiting for a major patch as well. A major patch like maybe adding a new class. Or maybe just the fabled 0.2.0 patch, I guess. Okay, that's 41 energy shield. I'm losing some resist. Although it's cold resist, and I need cold resist for the boss fight. Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Hello.
That we're holding on to. Summoner saying I'm done for now. I have no interest in rerunning the campaign in the near future. We'll probably be waiting for Acts 4 to 6. To be in before looking again, whatever they may be. It's fair.
That may hold what I seek.
In the NoPixel GTA server, there's a family named Mersion. Mickey Mersion, Mia Mersion. Leafy saying I run a homebrew 5e campaign with a small table. I cannot do voices though. I leave that to the pros. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. I think so. Critical Role did a great job. I think Critical Role was a great contributor to the reemergence of Dungeons and Dragons in popularity with 5th edition. Like them and Stranger Things, I think were a huge part of. I mean, I think D&D has not been this popular since like the 80s. So I think they've done great things for Dungeons and Dragons. I think they've also inadvertently and through no fault of their own done some harm. And this is, again, literally not their fault in any way, but it sets a lot of new players up with certain expectations of what D&D is and how it's going to play. And this has put, like, tremendous burden on Dungeon Masters. Because when your Dungeon Master isn't a professional voice actor like Matt Mercer, or otherwise the game, you know, doesn't run at the level of a professional production that is doing this for money, it leads, you know, expectation management is such a huge part of avoiding disappointment in any kind of game or community or anything really. And yeah, so they call it the Mercer effect, and Matt Mercer himself has tried to talk out against the Mercer effect. So again, this is literally nothing against those folks, but like, they all know they're running a show for an audience to watch, and they're all professional voice actors, and they're very good at understanding that they're running a show more so than just having fun playing D&D with each other. And so they're okay with doing things like, I'm going to sit here quietly for 20 minutes while this other guy gets the spotlight to have his moment because this is a really good scene for the audience. Even though in a real game, if you were sitting there quietly for 20 minutes doing nothing while other people are playing, you'd be rightfully kind of upset that you're not really getting to do anything. But like, I grew up on, in an era pre-Critical Role. What I watched was a little film called The Gamers. Who here has watched The Gamers? The Dungeons and Dragons YouTube video. It was like an hour long or something. Because that was a much more accurate representation of what D&D used to be about. And what people could expect at a table. The Gamers follows the adventures of a group of college frat bros. Well, not frat bros. A bunch of college bros playing D&D. And it hits upon the trials and tribulations of stuff like scheduling, people being missing, and just the silly, dumb humor that emerges from people that are not professional actors trying to act. Doing their best to roleplay. Basically, there's a difference between playing D&D for fun amongst your friends and playing D&D as a spectacle for an audience. There are different things worth focusing on. PS1 was down on Anniversary Day. Devs were giving out free cosmetics, and console gamers couldn't even log in. Those same gamers who got out... Oh, geez, so you get free cosmetic if you log in during this day. And by the way, you can't log in during this day. Oof. Or am I missing the last Rune of Power? Shoot. Okay, maybe down here. Down here, it looks like. Hold on, can I teleport to a checkpoint? How do I do the checkpoint teleport? I gotta do it from another checkpoint? Ah, too late. Have you ever tried Concoction Pathfinder in PoE 1? Yeah, that's the one that throws the potions. That one's really fun in PoE 1. The Dorkness. Dorkness Rising was so much fun. We tried pen and paper RPGs. The Shadow. The Shadow. Yeah, because they made 2 films, ultimately. 2 movies, right? 2 videos. The original and then the second. Judging by her dialogue lines, Una seems Canadian. Because she's always saying, sorry. Sorry. Leafy saying, I both love and hate Critical Role. Matt is a strong reason why new players look for every gem to be a fantastic voice actor and narrator. Yeah. And, I mean, in his defense, again, he has tried his best to put out messaging to... Oh, geez, Rust King. I was not prepared for Rust King. Oh, no. His little spindly legs. Good old Rusty. Interloper. For the clan! Alright, not bad at all.
Now, Battle Lord, accept your death.
Alright, oh well. Travel to Clearfell encampment. Where am I? I'm here. No, I'm at the Grellwood. I'm at the Red Veil. Clear. Clearfall. Wait. I've been there already. Good afternoon, Mike. How you doing? I had a great weekend. I hope you did too. Regarding being attached to the same character for years, if only we can have that in ARPGs. I ranted about it in your latest video. Oh, I missed the comment. Do you consider Rebirth a way of doing that, or do you mean outside of Rebirth?
Hello.
Oh, I got all these things. Sup here, yeah. Muffin saying journalism isn't creative. Have you seen any of the news nowadays? It's all made up BS. Nothing factual journalism anymore. Screw it. Renly, what have you for me?
I would ask.
Ah, right. We're going to free Deckard Cain. I remember
How was
now.
this man able to craft these?
Renly's done a fine. These are just some odds. It's beautiful. Bye.
Bye. Oh. You go there. Am I pretty much done with D4 for the season? No, we're probably gonna go D4 tomorrow. It's the most fun you've had in any season. That's great to hear. It's not for me, but that's because last season I think was the most fun for me. And this season it's dialed things up too much with regards to the rate of progression, but I know it's gonna be popular for a lot of people. Wait. Travel to Grellwood. No, I have to go to Clearfell. Video killed the radio star. There you go. Wait, is it the Grellwood then? Oh, god damn it. No, it is the Grellwood. My bad. It's not Clearfell. Grellwood, yeah. Leandra saying D&D channels have been rattled lately. Despite 5.5 release, YouTube algorithms are terribly ruthless. Okay, so... Because I know that there was... Because, again, I started off doing D&D content. It was in 4th edition.
What happened here?
There was zero popularity of D&D content on YouTube at the time. 5th edition caused D&D content to become popular on YouTube. So you're saying that it's gone back to being... Well, maybe not as unpopular as it was, but, like...
Now the other.
Not very popular?
Power the old clans wield.
Iggy's saying, so I'm kind of opposite on that with programming. I have some kind of passion project that I really want to make, but and I'll never do it. Won't find the time for it. But you hire me to make some game that doesn't really interest me that much. No problem. I'll work easy.
He's unconscious,
I'm trying to
but he's
parse
breathing.
how that's an opposite thing.
This wound. We should take him back to Clearfell. Goodbye.
Okay, I think this was in connection to, like, doing something on your spare... But, okay, so are you saying, though, that when you're doing it as a job, you actually enjoy doing the programming on something that doesn't actually interest you that much? I guess that's maybe the implication. Oh, did they not improve the combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Someone once said that Critical Role is to D&D what porn is to sex. It sets unrealistic expectations. That is the perfect analogy. Critical Role is to D&D what porn is to sex. Yeah. That is the perfect analogy.
The wound, only by the grim town.
Oh, he's supposed to wake up. Gosh darn it. Alright, find the entrance to the Grim Tangle in the Grellwood. Grellwood. Grim Tangle. Mike's saying, don't get me wrong, I prefer slower and less loot explosions. I feel less is more, but I'm playing back tech, walking Quake Varb, and it's nuts. The builds are fun. I mean, once you get to Endgame. Yeah. What's up, Miles? I'm doing well. I hope you are too. Last season was a ton of fun. Season 7 has been a blast to rush through, but I do not think I will spend much time climbing at tiers this time around, though. We'll relax and play PvE2 a bit and wait for Season 8. Yeah, that's very reasonable. Very reasonable. Okay, we're looking for... Well, I guess we're looking for everything at this point. Ariagni's hut. I don't think I've defeated Ariagni. I have not Ariagni'd. Here we go. Hello? So, it's done. Oh, here we go. Man, I don't think I'm ever gonna play a melee character in this game. This just seems absolutely miserable. Oh my god. Like, I'm just imagining this fight on a melee character. It's like, do you hate yourself? Come on. Got her.
Corrupted or not, your kind deserve no better.
All right. Oh yeah, go ahead, Geeky. Go ahead. The next big PoE2 update, suppose, to bring in the new classes. They have not promised a new class in the next update. We can hope, but it's not something they've promised. As far as I'm aware. VR Dungeons and Dragons is going to be so much fun. Honestly, if you cannot play at a physical table, VR D&D probably going to be a really good option. Curious thing, people's general intelligence, awareness, and just the basic ability to function IRL, attention span, etc. are going down with every generation. D&D has no future, Sag. Oh, man. Jeez. I never thought of it that way. And, oh, man. Your premises are not wrong. I want your conclusion to be wrong, but I'm finding myself unable to argue against it. Oh no. Oh no.
Yes.
I said no, not yes. Okay, so we're here. Do I need intelligence? Do I want... Yeah, I want Giga Mana regen, I think. Cast speed, really? I don't know. I'm gonna go for the mana regen. Otherwise, elemental damage will be good. Mind you, so right now I'm not even burning through my mana. I have more mana than anything to do with it. I forgot, how do I even level up skills? I forgot how to level up skills. Is it that I gotta get a higher level gem? Yeah, I think that's it. Or something. I'm playing a Titan, and the worst area in the game for melee has got to be the Black Chambers. Every enemy runs away and shoots from range. Oof. Yeah, I can just imagine it. Oh my gosh. Landry saying, I think the problem for D&D channels is the ruthless algorithms. Like Curious says, attention span, if you don't post in time, viewers leave you behind, which means D&D is popular. Actually, I think it's like your streaming advice. Don't join the overcrowded hyped game like D4, but build up the audience with smaller games. That's on Discord. I generally enjoy programming even as a job, but I don't seem to be able to do it unless it's a job. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's good then that you're able to enjoy it as a job. That's great. If it makes you feel any better, those things also cause the whole humanity to decline and head towards either self-destruction or completely miserable Cyberpunk 2077 style existence. So it's not like we're going to care about D&D being dead at that point. Because everything else will be so much worse as well. Rip. Okay, you get a higher uncut skill gem to upgrade them. Right, okay, thank you, Wimpy. Leafy saying it's not just D&D that is affected by that conclusion. Any long-form media or entertainment activity is in danger. Novels have become a form that many don't even consider to try anymore. It's sad, yeah. As a kid, I wanted to become a novelist. Yeah. Baba Yaga saying Diablo seasons are way too long. It should be 5 weeks and bam, next. It's not like Blizzard puts a lot of effort in the themes and whatnot. Who plays for 3 months anyway? Nobody. So, Path of Exile perfected the formula of 13-week seasons. They experimented a lot, and so what happens is, if you do seasons too soon, right? If a season is too short, let's say it's 5 weeks, and you start a new one, what they found is people start to feel like, well, seasons are so frequent, I could afford to skip a season. Like, you know, there's a WoW update now, I'll pass on this season. Maybe I'll come back for the next one. And once you start skipping seasons, you rapidly reach a point where, or, you know, you could reach a point where it's like, I skipped last season. I think I'll skip this one too. I think I'll skip the next one. And you just kind of stop playing the game altogether. And if a season lasts too long, then, yeah, people are just gone for so long. So, the PoE perfected the 13-week cycle as the right amount of time where you maximize retention You ensure everyone is always back for the next one. Yeah. So 5 weeks would just burn people out. Like, I agree with your conclusion that no one plays for 3 months. No one plays the season for 3 months. But yeah, I mean, to add to that, Leafy's point, 5 weeks is just not even possible. Not due to lack of effort, but because the dev teams will perish at that production rate. Yeah. Like, you might think that it doesn't feel like they put a lot of effort into a season, but whatever they're doing, it takes the full 3 months to get done. I know that could be difficult to understand, but like, there's just so much that goes into game development that we don't see or can really comprehend unless we're in that space, especially when you're dealing with a company that is large. I think everyone kind of intuitively understands how generally the bigger a company, the less agile it is and the longer everything takes, because you're dealing with like layers of bureaucracy and inter-team communication and stuff. Yeah, as Leafy's saying, you need enough time for development, then quality assurance, pre-testing, launch, post-launch fix, patches, give a break back to the devs, yeah. And I know, like, the argument is, well, there's already so many bugs and whatever, like, they're obviously not QAing. No, the conclusion is, imagine how much worse things would be if they weren't QAing. Ooh, check vendors, thank you.
Yes. Please. Take your time.
Yeah, no. Extra lightning damage.
I hope it helps. I suppose I can let that one go.
Do it. Let it go. Boner blast.
Oi.
Oi.
Fancy? You'll survive well in that.
Get some cold res there, but cast speed on the focus.
Yes. These are just some odds and ends of
10%, actually, that is quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, sure.
That one spoke to me as well.
All deposit those there, and I'm gonna go fill up on some water, and we'll be right back. BRB. Okay. Did I check both vendors? I did, yes. Okay. Evan's saying, surely then 8 weeks would be the sweet spot with seasons. Mid-season patch happens at week 3 or 4, enough time to work out any issues. Again, so like we could speculate as much as we want, but PoE did the experimentation, and they found 13 weeks to be the sweet spot. Now, maybe, you know, things are different now. Maybe with modern gamers, you know, we're like some years later, maybe it has changed. Maybe Diablo 4 is a different enough game that its cycle cadence could be different. The thing is, I don't know that giving Blizzard less time to cook is a good idea. I would personally rather get more playtime out of a season than have seasons start more frequently. Because, like, we're already at a point in D4 where, you know, people ask, is it worth coming back this season? Like, did they add enough? Did enough change that it's worth coming back this season? And, like, that's just not a question people ask in PoE. Like, there's just, all their updates are always significant enough that people feel it's worth coming back. So if you're going to have a shorter season, that presumably means we're going to have even less content in any given season. Am I in the... No! Well, I went the wrong way. Dang it. Bamboozled. Okay. Oh, man. Sounds good, Geeky. Sounds good. Here's saying, I want some dev to try making an ARPG with no content resets. Then they can make progression as slow, loot as rare and meaningful as they want. Simply add content on top with seasons and raise level cap with expansions, which is what D4 does anyway. Rather deal with problems that arise from lack of resets than deal with this continued devolution into a short, form meaningless, boring ass meat grinder. I want to be like that guy with an 18-year-old character. Yeah, I wonder if an ARPG without resets could survive. I mean, I guess the only game that is maybe doing that now is... Well, I mean, okay, I guess Grim Dawn does it. But, I mean, Grim Dawn... Not that Grim Dawn is not successful. But it's nowhere near, like, you know, Diablo or Path of Exile levels. I consider Grim Dawn amongst the top 3 of the last gen. D3, PoE, and Grim Dawn were like the big 3. No, I don't want to go to here either. Gosh darn you. Oh, I finally watched the Grand Budapest Hotel yesterday. Always heard about it, never watched it. Quite enjoyed it. Good film. That Wes Anderson, man. Glad some people are still making... Wow, my first AUG. Glad some people are still making cinema. It's funny, I'd watched Asteroid City. I think I prefer Grand Budapest. Skipping seasons might be more related to lack of content, new stuff, rather than the length of it. I'm just wondering. I have no real opinion about it. All I know is that GGG did a GDC presentation about their learnings about the cycle. And I'm gonna trust the dudes who made a very successful game over us who are speculating from our fields and no experience. I don't know, man. Like, I know I would like, you know, I can say what I would like, but the only people who know what works are those people who have actually tried it and gotten data and experimented. Like, it'd be one thing if, like, they never tried a shorter season or a longer season, but, like, they tried, right? They experimented with season lengths, eventually settling on this is what works best for their game, at least. So it could be, again, different game, could be maybe, you know, different cadence would work. But even Diablo 3 experimented with season lengths. We had very long Diablo 3 seasons. We had as short as 2 months, and they ended up settling on 3 months. They get data, they get metrics that we don't get.
For now, but I sense more than
Summon
life
Una.
signs.
Gigi saying, no testing I don't think is the issue. Most don't realize what happens when you take old code, current game code, and add new code next season to it. You're almost guaranteed bugs. How many and how bad is a question at this point. I'm sure if someone had some magical way to add this math together and make 0 bugs, the team would be more than willing to listen. But here we are. Yeah. If D4 released a new season every time I'm done with current season, we'd have a new season every 2 days. There you go, right? Yeah, like to Nemesis's point before, you know, people will burn out. Again, anytime I always like to work with extremes to explore different arguments. So, what if a new season started literally every day? Obviously, no one's going to do that. I know. Obviously, it's not a realistic scenario. I know. But why would that be bad is the question. Why would it be bad for a new season to start every day? So then, if not every day, what about every 2 days? What about every 3 days? 4, 5, 6, 7? How many days do you reach a point where it's no longer problematic? And then depending on why it is problematic, well, there are different people that have different barometers, right? Because it could be like depending on your taste, right? So someone like Curious just said, he's done with the season in 2 days, so he would want a new season every 2 days. But not everyone is done with their season in 2 days. And if a new season starts every 2 days and only lasts 2 days, Curious, then how many seasons pass before you're going to be willing to be like, you know what, I can skip this season, it's not a big deal, a new one's going to start. Like, there's just constantly new seasons, so who cares if I miss one? And if it doesn't matter that I miss one, doesn't matter if I miss 2, doesn't matter if I miss 3. Then by the same token, imagine a new season only launched every 3 years. Well, maybe by the time the next season comes around, you don't care about this game anymore. You have to make new stuff happen often enough that people, you know your game still exists and care to keep playing it. Because as anyone who has played Dungeons & Dragons can attest to, if you spend too long on a hiatus, eventually there's just too much activation energy to get back to it. At some point, you've stopped playing for so long that it's just dead. Or dead to you, at least.
The elements will take you now, druid.
Stupid druid. What an idiot. Okay. I guess that's it. I don't know why I'm here. Continue through the Grim Tangle. Okay. Okay. Levy's saying, and just like with movies, all the efforts and hard work of hundreds of people can go to waste because of a few missteps from the management, board of directors, etc. Bubba Yaga saying, by the way, I love D4. I wish I could play more often. Rerolls are not that fun to me. What do you do when you're with Pit 150? You wait for 2.5 months, rant over. Yeah, I mean, I also want there to be more to do in D4 for sure. Like, I tap out even before you. Like, I don't even care to reach Pit 150.
Sorry.
I would like to have something that keeps me going for longer.
Hello.
Hello.
Stay safe if you can.
What do you feel about PoE 1 not meeting the new season timer because they took their people to PoE 2 and are delayed now on what they promised PoE 1 players? I think they should have communicated this back in, like, August. Otherwise, I think, you know, the smart business decision was to move the talent to PoE 2, but they should have been more transparent about it, well, much longer ago. Wait, what the f am I doing? What? I'm confused. Continue through the Grim Tangle. Okay, we're not done in here then. Okay. Oh, shoot. Was it, like, right out there? That's probably it. That's funny. That's funny. Leafy saying, think of the devs as the underpaid, overworked crew in a set that always get new tasks despite having a ton of backlogs from the week prior. It is always like that. Yep. Evan saying, Grim Dawn. What a game. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Wanted to ask if you know much about the new ARPG from the studio who made Wolcen and if you experienced any of the very early alpha. I have no knowledge about it. I have, a complicated relationship with them. I'm very disappointed in Wolcen. So I'm not exactly hype for what they're working on. I've been let down before, and so we'll wait and see kind of thing. All I know is that they are working on something. I have no other details. All or almost all MMOs do that. D4's already an MMO. Fight me. I mean, so there's certain key differences between MMOs and ARPGs, right? And so I don't know if what works in an MMO is going to work in an ARPG. So like Diablo Immortal, for instance, once we get to the point where you're just on the same character all the time, like, I lose interest. For me, the fun part of Immortal was like building up the character, and then once it's just farming out the Paragon, it was just like, okay, I'm done. But maybe there's a way to make that formula work. I don't know. I think No Rest for the Wicked had some good ideas there. And it's like a little roguelite endgame mode. I suppose theoretically, right? A season. So let's imagine an ARPG in which you never have to make a new character, right? This season could just introduce a new borrowed power mechanic that starts at scratch, right? You take your existing character, and then instead of having to level up all over again, there's just some new mechanic with a new advancement system. Wait a minute. I'm still in the Grim Tangle. What is going on? I just looped around. Continue through the Grim Tangle. Okay, there's an exit somewhere. We just gotta find it. Do you think PoE2 atomization is too slot machine-like? Do you think they should change it? I don't know that it needs to be changed at a core level. What I do know is, as a solo self-found player, drops are not exactly where I would like them. But I don't think that requires a fundamental change to itemization that I would call, like, changing the itemization system. Stormweaver or Chronomancer? I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'm like level, what, 5 or something? I'm level 7, so I got a while to decide. The seasonal themes haven't been massive in scope, but a lot of the D4 seasons have come with significant changes outside of the season theme. Yeah. This is the first in a while that hasn't happened, so it's a bit too much of a generalization to say Blizzard haven't been putting much effort in, and this season did come with the armory, but that didn't make significant gameplay changes. Yeah.
That bastard I sent for
Yeah.
This man has known respect in his life, but now he is simply lost.
Gormat saying, Curious is just asking for an MMO with ARPG gameplay systems and mechanics, which D4 is almost, but it's not. As an MMO player or MMO enjoyer, I would love D4 if it was one, although I like the season reset. It's funny because I was like very opposed to season resets when they were introduced to D3. I was like, I'm not going to play seasons. I put so much effort into my non-season characters. And then I tried seasons and I never went back. Mausoleum.
Cruel Praetor, I shall bring you the storm.
Gigi saying, why no new season daily? No testing time, no time for BTR, no time for BTR reading feedback or implementing changes. Must I go on? Who needs quality control anyway? Where do babies come from? Where does Babby come from? Well, there's a special kind of bird with a big old mouth called a stork. That's how Babby is formed. By season, are you okay with a reset or should always add new content? So, am I personally okay with it just being a reset? I mean, I wouldn't be thrilled, but I would be okay with it. Do I think it should always add new content? Yes. I think if you are running a live service game, you need your seasons to actually deliver content. And sorry to clarify there, I just mean like, you gotta do something. You can't just be like, yeah, we didn't do shit for 3 months, so we're just gonna hit the reset button to get a new season going. Wait. What? Search the mausoleum of... Oh. Can I... How do I use a checkpoint to go to another checkpoint? Like that. Nice. Unexpected loading screen from that. Okay. Always, where does baby come from? Never, how is baby? The memes, they're colliding. If you move to Canada, where should you go? Do you speak French? What career do you work in? These are questions that would... Ow. Gosh, that guy did a lot of damage. Affect the answer, but there's lots of great places to go in Canada. In short. I live in Montreal. I love Montreal. I would highly recommend Montreal. If you don't speak French, you could still get by in Montreal. You're a little bit more limited, though. I think it's... If you're willing to learn French, you'll be in a much better place. You want to come here for... If you're in school, we have some great universities here. So, like, downtown Montreal. So, Montreal is the most English city and the most French place in Canada. We're very multicultural. And if you stick around downtown, that's where you can get by the most without knowing French. Because we have some big universities and we get a lot of, like, American and international students who don't speak French. So, people in the area are accustomed to dealing with people who don't speak French. But yeah, just generally for job prospects, it's a good idea to learn French. Oh wait, that is terrible. Yeah. That said, I mean, maybe it's just easier to not bother with that at all and go not live in Quebec. But if you do want to move to Quebec, yeah, Montreal, in my opinion, is a great city. I'm a little bit biased, maybe.
Sorry,
But
I've collected
I believe I just leveled up. Yes? Yes. So. Uh-huh. Level 10 things.
How can I help? Take a look.
So this as well, what I'm doing right now, I don't like this. I don't like that checking vendors on level up is like a core or arguably the most important way to gear up your character. I like drops. I like things to come as drops. Yeah, I'll take this.
A fine choice. If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
Yes. Stay safe if you can.
Oui, je parle français. Lucky Log saying I lived in Montreal for a few years while I was in university, and it was ass. Every corner someone asks you for money, it smells like piss everywhere. Okay, you're talking about downtown. Where did you go to, Concordia or McGill? Probably Concordia. But yeah, so living in the downtown, I live far from downtown. I live in the East End. But yeah, I mean, the downtown core, like, it's like New York, right? Any big city, you're going to get a lot of homeless. You're going to get a lot of the streets smelling of piss. But we're not quite as bad as New York. But again, Montreal is more than just downtown. So those problems don't exist where I live. Have a good one, Leafy. Ah, you can. For computer science, yeah. What's your take on Gamba for items? I'm okay with Gamba. Like, I generally like the position that Gamba is in these games where it's risky and it's generally not smart to do, but like if you have an abundance of resources to spend, you could do it. I don't think Gamba should be your main way of acquiring items, but it could be like a fun little side thing. I'm also fine with like occasionally, like I'm not opposed to having vendors. It's just like if vendors is the main way you are gearing up, that's when it's problematic for me. New York is a hellhole, and you know how I think about hellholes. Am I legally required to be into hockey? Yeah, so you know how some countries have like 2 years mandatory military service? We have 2 years mandatory hockey team service. Once you turn 18, from 18 to 20, you got to be in a hockey team. Then it's you get a renewal option once you turn 20. So you could choose to leave, but you could choose to continue your hockey career. Ottawa's great as well, Matt, for sure. I got family in Ottawa. It feels like in Ottawa, half the people work for the government, or half the people work for the government and half of the other half work with the government. Curious thing, I for one enjoyed all close to 200 hours spent on Wilson, especially party play, bugfest during the streams. Oh man. Haven't used Armory a single time yet because one, Rob keeps changing the build all the time too. The build is good for everything anyway. Yeah. That's the thing with yeah. Cheers, Geeky. What's your opinion about devs adding set items in Diablo 4? Asking Abel. So it's a great question, and so here's the funny-ish thing. I interviewed, I believe it was Rod Ferguson and Joe Shelley 6 months prior to the release of Diablo 4. I asked about set items, and they said that set items would come, but not at launch. They wouldn't be in the game at launch. I no longer believe we are guaranteed set items, and the reason is I don't think they want to add set items just for the sake of adding set items, and they've explained that they're They're very aware of the issues that set items added to the game in Diablo 3, and they don't want to repeat those issues. And I think now we're at a place where itemization in D4 is getting pretty crowded. And so I feel like the team needs to find the right design space for set items, and I'm not sure that they're able to find a way to add set items in a way that they feel is deserving. So you don't want to add set items and they're just like kind of redundant with other kinds of items. You don't want to add set items and now they're like the OP thing that everyone has to use. Like you don't want set items to take over and dominate the itemization of D4, right? If you're going to add something, you're going to want it to be a positive addition and not something that makes itemization worse. So how do we add set items into D4 without making itemization overall worse?
Forget D4 or PO2. Wolfen is the future. Oh wait.
Man, I remember when Wilson was going to be the D4 killer. Oh, how far it fell. Smurf Lord, 25-month resub. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. I guess to express a bit more my frustration with Wolfson. So, like, my credibility took a serious hit after Wolfson released. So Wolfson was giga hyped. Not just by me, like everyone thought Wolfson was going to be the next big thing. And what happened was I got early access to a build for Wolfson right before release. We did like a sponsored thing where they sponsored me to make a number of videos, like beginner's guides and whatever on Wolfson. And the behind the scenes stuff that people... Okay, anyway, so the game launches and it is like a giant buggy mess. Multiplayer was just a complete disaster. Lots of bugs, everything was broken. And I just like put out a video basically talking about how great the game is and how promising it was. So people are rightfully like, what the fuck, Rhykker? Like, how could you recommend this game? It is complete trash. Well, sorry. From the perspective of bugginess and how playable it was. I think the game itself was pretty damn good. But it released in an awful state with regards to bugs. And just how, like, multiplayer functionality was barely even there. And so what happened was, you know, about 3 months later, they fixed everything, and the game was good again. I had friends who didn't buy Wolfson on launch. They bought it once everyone stopped playing it, because it was on discount or I don't know what. And they're like, hey, this game is great. And I'm like, yeah, it's great now, because they spent the last 3 months fixing all the bugs. And then what happens, they release an update with new content, and everything breaks. And then my friend stopped playing, because like, well, now the game is just... They broke the game, everything is busted. And it took them another 3 months, and they fixed all the bugs that they reintroduced, and then the game was good again. And then they released another update, and it broke everything again. So this made me recognize that this is their cycle. And so the build that I played right before release, that was their we fixed everything build. Not that it was perfect, like there were a couple little bugs. Also, however, I was playing a single player build, and most of their problems were in multiplayer. So the version of Wolfson that I played was the fixed one, and then the release version was the broken one. So there's just like, there was so much lost potential there. They just like really bungled their launch and never really recovered. So it's just frustrating that to see this game that could have been, it could have stood, you know, it could have been one of the great ARPGs, but they were overly ambitious with their ideas and their scope. They rebooted the game like multiple times during development, changing the scope. They had to... They promised way too much. They had to, you know, go back on a lot of their promises. And now they abandoned the game without even ever finishing the story. Hey, it's my first death. So mad about Wilson that I had to die in PoE. Wilson was really fun to play through once. The best part was the boss fights, and I feel like PB2 did all that and better. Yeah, I mean, Wilson had some cool ideas as well with, like, endgame stuff, like building up your little town thing was cool. Okay, but to go back to set items, sorry. So, I don't know how we got distracted by Wilson talk. Set items. So the problem with set items in D3, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, one, they dominated endgame itemization. Yo, okay, something is hitting me for crazy damage in here. Like 95% of builds were set item builds. So they dominated, they were too strong, and when you are wearing a 6-piece set, that's over half of your itemization slots where you are not making any choices. Your build looks the same. If you're running a Natalia build, it probably looks identical to every other Natalia build. There's no variance. It's not like Maxroll has one version and Mobilytics has a different version. Like, you all have to wear those, you know, over half your itemization slots are exactly the same. Why do these things hurt so bad? Oh, they're shooting balls at me. Oh, okay, I see these balls now.
And then we doubled it.
Double the balls, double the balls. Fuck your balls. What? So yeah, those are the two issues with set implementation in Diablo 3. I think sets were much better implemented into Diablo 2, where sets were not OP. There were maybe a couple of sets that were like best in slot and game gear. Some sets were like, well, if you want to run this kind of build, you can either go with this set or you can go with these rune words. The problem with sets in Diablo 2 was that, on average, by the time you completed a set, you had outgrown its power. It was basically useless to you. Maybe if you made an alt, you can then temporarily use that set. Like, you know, Saigons would be a good leveling set to keep for alts. But for the most part, sets were not really delivering on what they were promising because you just couldn't reasonably complete a set until you were an endgame character, and then you were just stronger. What is it with these fucking Eternal Knights? Oh my god. Why are they so... Are they Oh, you little twerp. Okay. They're reflecting my projectiles back at me. That's what was happening. If I stop shooting them, they stop killing me. Fascinating. Fascinating. So the strategy is you wait for them to come and reach you, and when they wind up their attack, they're putting down their shield, and that's when you hit them. Smart. Smart. So, what potential design space can set items have in Diablo 4? Well, if we are to take the learnings of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, well, first off, okay, now let's separate out what do I like about sets. There's a couple of things. One is the fantasy. The fantasy of, here is this set of items that some ancient warrior wielded. This is Natalia's weapon and her helm and her chestplate and her pants. And so I am embodying the same gear that this ancient warrior embodied. And I think that's a really cool fantasy. Mechanically, I like sets from the perspective of, here's an item, it does X. Here's another item, it does Y. When I wear both of these items, it additionally does Z. I think that's really cool. Because people say like, well, you can have set items through uniques or through legendaries. And to me, it doesn't fulfill those things. Those two things that I like most about set items. Because people are like, well, you know, like, here's a bunch of items that buff Blizzard. That's considered a set. It's like, not really. Not from what I like about sets, at least. So how do we get sets to be... How do we capture what we like about sets, or what I like about sets, without it being a net negative and without it being useless. Because in D2, sets are useless, asterisk. Like 95% of sets in D2 are useless. No one ever uses them. There's like hardly any usage case for them because you just never get them. And when you get them, you don't need them anymore. And D3 sets are too OP and boring because they reduce player choice and they follow you into the end game. So how can we get sets to work well in D4? Well, maybe you put them in a position and itemization where they are almost never the best in slot. They're almost never S tier builds. Maybe they cap out at like A tier builds. So they're viable, they're strong, but they're not going to be the best builds. Maybe you limit how many pieces in general. You don't do too many sets that are too many pieces. You try to keep them small, so you still have a lot of itemization choices to make. Or maybe sets could exist as a sort of like middle ground in your itemization. Sort of like Hadrig's Gift in D3 was a nice delivery system for sets. You do your season journey, you get your set pieces incrementally. It doesn't have to be that necessarily, but imagine that there's some mid-game point where you can put a set together. Maybe you have a bit more agency over what set that is. I don't know. Maybe they can rotate just like Hadrig's. I don't know that Hadrig's is the best implementation of it, but you get your set together, and now you have like a baseline level of gear that you can use to farm up your real endgame build. So they exist as a discrete step within your itemization journey, but they're not the end outcome. But if you're a new player and you don't know how to put a build together, hey, here's a set of items that makes it pretty obvious what you should build and how to do it, and you can't go wrong. Here's a bunch of gear. They all synergize together for Fireball. I guess I should take Fireball and build a Fireball, wizard or whatever, sorcerer. Sets could also potentially do like crazy things like be built around a very specific fantasy. Oh, I just got saved by that level up because of this bugger again. Okay, we gotta port back, shop. So the example that I give, which is not balanced, but just to give you an idea, imagine here's a set and it turns all of your fire spells into cold spells. For argument's sake, right? Like we can pick apart the exact implementation of that, but just big picture wise, like sets could do kind of crazy things that really lean into some kind of fantasy. Now that we have the armory in D4, the game literally vomits everything. It's disgusting. Playing only one build is enough to get bored entirely. Yeah. Now that we have the armory, I don't even feel a need to run multiple builds because the game is too easy. Reminder for any enterprising Indians, it's ice hockey, national service, not grass hockey or horse hockey. I strongly think that crafting shouldn't have RNG in it except for maybe stat range values. Thoughts? Asking Amandamonium. Yes, I think when we're talking crafting, I prefer crafting to be more deterministic. I like the RNG to be in the loot drops and the gambling, but crafting, I prefer more deterministic crafting. Ooh. 22. Ooh. Yes, look at this. Dude, look at this. 26% increased spell damage. Max mana. Cast speed. That is instantly amazing. Instantly amazing. The guys with the shield reflect all projectiles for 50% damage. Damn, I should have read that before. Thank you, Heron Hammertail. Maybe you can have two uniques that when you put together, they alter a skill that you already you're already building into. It could be an interesting thing. What about sets just for the jewelry slots, as there are on most instances just 3 slots? I mean, you can do that, but it kind of... It limits the fun part of the fantasy. Because, like, then it's like, well, now we can never have, like, a weapon. Like, you can never have Natalia's weapon. You have, like, what, Natalia's wedding ring and her high school ring. And her, like... Yeah. So it mechanically it works. Flavor-wise, it kills a lot of what I think is fun and interesting and cool about sets. But I mean, like, ultimately it could be that we just have to make some concession somewhere. That the reason we've not had a perfect implementation of sets yet is because there's no way to capture everything that I like from sets without it being poorly implemented. So Diablo Immortal, for instance, their solution to sets is to have entirely separate itemization slots just for sets. I think it's 4 pieces. So all sets are 4-piece sets, and you have 4 itemization slots just for sets. And it's like, what even are the slots called? Diablo Immortal set item slots. It's belt, boots, hands, neck, and ring. Sorry, there's 6, my bad. Ring 1, ring 2, belt, boots, hands, and neck. So that's how they work. They're completely separate itemization slots. The only thing that you can put in there are set items, and you cannot put set items into your regular itemization slots. So it solves one problem, but it creates another where now it's like, well, now just everyone has sets, which also isn't super interesting. Because now it's not about, like, I guess what I really like to see in an endgame state of an ARPG is tons of different builds where people are doing different things. Like, oh, this guy's running a set. This guy's not running a set. This guy's running a bunch of uniques. This guy has no uniques. It's just like the more flexibility and creativity you have in being able to express different build flavors, the better. I mean, I guess I would rather have everyone has sets than for sets not to exist at all. But it takes a bit away from the magic of sets if it's just like, well, everyone always has a set. Or multiple sets, even. We did not check vendor.
Sorry, I've collected these over time. What do you think?
Well, now I got this butte.
Bye.
What have we got? Here's what I've got.
What have we got? Here's what I've got. Thank you. Thank you.
If you find a pint out there, do bring it back.
I'm curious thing, I don't even want set items out of fear that they'd mess them up. Either they'll be weak and people will complain that since they're set items, they should be your best in slot. Devs will follow that feedback and we're back to D3. Dude, you're actually... You know what? I think that's exactly what would happen. I think that's exactly what would happen. Oh, gosh. Now, I did have that set idea back some time ago. I said that they could make sets that have 0 damage multipliers, and they simply affect how a skill functions, and in return, they let us temper and masterwork those set items. That'd be cool, yeah. So that's their position in D4 would be they would be distinct from uniques in that you can temper them, and you can temper them. And they would be distinct from uniques and legendaries in that they are not adding multipliers. Oof, but then how do they wait, how do those compete with legendaries then? Because legendary, or how are they different from legendaries? Maybe is the better question. Smurf saying Molson had some really good ideas, but they were attached to a substandard product. It wasn't an overall good game. Sag. Wolfson started on Kickstarter, exactly, yeah. The game promised some big things. They had to dial back their scope eventually. Now I'm saying currently I see zero design space for set items. Why should we add sets, and what would be better about those compared to legendaries, uniques, tempering affixes? Yeah, tempering affixes is a whole other thing. This is the thing, like the itemization design space in D4 is very crowded right now. Hands, I think, are bracers in Diablo Immortal. Well, D3 had gloves and bracers. Immortal has gloves. Oh, wait. No, I'm confused. I don't know. Maybe they only have one or the other in Immortal. Yeah, I guess they only have gloves in Immortal. Now I'm saying, but those sets, Natalia, etc., will be better than MTX sets, like the Warcraft sets. More money will be better than... Those sets will be better than MTX sets, like the War... you know what? We're not getting sets in D4 in any way that I would be happy with. That was part of the cool thing too, right? That the set has a certain look to it. And they're not going to make unique looking, visually cool sets in D4 that you're not going to pay for. Maybe one or two now and then, but there's no way they're making multiple sets. Sag. It's never going to happen. Not going to happen. Do you think you will end up playing D3 again for fun? I would enjoy watching you play it. I mean, I'm not going to say never, but like, I played D3 for 10 years straight. More? 11? So, it's nothing against the game, but like, at some point, if you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day for 10 years, you're kind of not eager to eat another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Sets are also great as cosmetics / collection. Yeah. Back in D2, I hunted for them because they were cool, not necessarily powerful or useful. Now we have cash up, can't despair. Oh, the collecting aspect is the other part of it, right? It's a cool mini game to like complete your set. Like, ooh, I found this, now I found the other piece, oh, I found the other piece, and eventually I got my whole set together. Curious saying, I wouldn't want sets to be capped at 8 tier or something like that, because progress is so fast I wouldn't use them at all. I think that idea... Yeah, I guess the issue as well, right? The way itemization is in D4... It's the same in D3, right? You just skipped your endgame build. I guess they're... Yeah. So in my ideal ARPG, you go through phases of gearing. You don't just quickly and easily get to your endgame gear and endgame build. But that's just not the reality.
Oi, take a look.
Oi.
Go well.
Okay, I was still in the cemetery. Oh, no, I'm not, because I waited too long. Okay, that's fine. Or just go back. Tomb of the... Search among the stones. Wait. I thought I completed the Tomb of the Praetor. Search the mausoleum for Draven and his consorts. I fully explored the mausoleum last time. I didn't find any such consorts.
Desert fire!
I don't get to double dip on the firewall. On projectiles passing through the firewall multiple times, right? That'd be way too OP. Come on. Transmute. As in, this set turns your blizzard into a firestorm, while it'll be exactly as strong on level 1 as it'll be on max level, because it doesn't give you any additional damage on its own, but it benefits from your level. Your fire affix is your paragon. So, but here's the thing. So you're giving up an itemization slot to turn your blizzard into a firestorm. Why would I not want to use just a legendary item that then gives me a buff multiplier? Okay, these are the most annoying enemies in the game. Well, holy fuck. I don't know if you played the Delirium Pinnacle fight in PoE2. I have not. I have not. They're different from legendaries because they're green. Because maybe you're able to squeeze out more or the same amount of multipliers to fire than to cold, but you lack a fire skill that's strong enough, and now you have it. So you're basically giving up an itemization slot to change something's element. Because you're able to build up more multipliers on a different element. Okay, I guess that can work. I thought I'd previously fully explored this dang mausoleum. So, there's something where, like, my skill is not very responsive, I feel. I don't feel like I keep interrupting myself. I guess that's what must be happening. Yeah. It's like, I hit E and then I start casting Spark, and it cancels my firewall. That's what keeps happening. No. Oh, God, this guy again. Okay, my damage is starting to fall off. It's not great. Those are really only annoying as a sorcerer due to the relative squishiness of the class and the range playstyle, but they were the bane of my existence when I started playing. Okay, this is where I got to last time. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, what the f- Search the mausoleum for Draven and his consort. Is this not Draven and his consort? I feel like this ought to open. You have to get through the first few frames of the animation or it'll cancel. With Spark, applies to any ground, target spell as a sorcerer, Fire Frost Wall, the Storm Orb, and the Pulsing Fire Ring. So I'm going to keep exploring, but I feel like I am not going to find what I'm looking for. Which is anything at this point. There's a switch on the column in there. Oh my god. How did I not see it multiple times? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Pedrega. Or wait, hold on. Are you saying the switch is the switch here? Or I have to find the switch? It was in the room with the checkpoint, okay. Thank God for that. Okay. Oh, god damn it. There we go. Third time's the charm, right? No, wait, I went down here already. God damn it, wait! I've done this before. So what does it want me to find in this stupid mausoleum? No. What do you want from me? Search the mausoleum for Draven and his consort. I'm in a place called Mausoleum. And this seems to be telling me... Wait, is that just my location? Or is that telling me... Yeah, this is telling me there's a quest in here, right? That's a quest marker. So there's still stuff to do.
Die, scum!
Ow. This is lightning on lightning violence here. Of course, it's gonna be in the last place that I look. Why wouldn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be probably here. Literally the last place I can look. I hope it is, because if it's not, then I have no idea. Yeah, there we go. LOL. Here we go. Only took the entire map to figure it out.
You will have eternity to regret your intrusion here. Your soul is mine.
Desert fire!
Rend your soul. These spirits are mine. Cut down. Your soul is mine. Cut down. Your soul is mine. Succumb to the Empire.
Oh god, here we go.
I am with you, Draven.
Cut down. These spirits are mine. Your intrusion will be punished. Your meaningless life ends now. Your intrusion will be punished. Prepare to me, Asinia. I command you.
My beloved.
Cut down. Harry. Asinia.
At your request.
These spirits are mine. Your intrusion will be punished. Succumb to the Empire. I will Asinia.
I will Asinia.
I answer your call.
Succumb to the Empire. I am
This guy is really devoted to the Empire.
cut down. Asinia.
Is there ever any game in which the Empire is the good guys? Empire's always evil. Any movie, game.
Rend your soul. Your soul is mine. The spirit, my beloved Asinia. Your intrusion will be punished. Your intrusion.
Got him.
Your demise is welcomed. I am sure of it.
Ah, yeah. Cemetery of the Eternals. Warhammer 40k. I guess when you have no good guys, it's about who's the least bad guy. Oh, man. Warhammer Old World. Lots of corruption with the good guys, so to speak. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, man. Alrighty, folks, that's going to be our stream for today. We're going to thank everybody for coming on by. I'll be streaming again tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to finish my D4 season journey. And then we'll see Wednesday. Either we're going to be back to PoE or TBD. But we're going to thank everybody for coming on by. We're going to thank our mods for overseeing things. We're going to give a big thanks to our supporters. We're going to thank y'all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your evening, folks, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.